Canvas, make sure that you download the new template. It says new template, new template. This is a new template. Make sure you use that. So if I right click and download, save image as, or save image to downloads, if I save it to downloads, then I want to eventually make sure that I move it to my folder. So I'm going to move it to my folder. Peterson. That's where I save mine, okay? So I'm saving it in my folder. And then if you just go to that folder on the desktop, if you go to that folder and find what you just got, and if you drag and drop that onto your Photoshop after it's in your folder, then it will it will create the right size. So you can go in there and you can type new, and you can say CMYK and all these kinds of things, or you can drag and drop this in and you'll have what else you need. So that's the first thing. Secondly, once you have that, then you're going to want to duplicate your background. So my background is that template. Command J duplicates your background, and put that at the top. So that's why it says template up here. Next, what I did was I filled in my second to the bottom. I filled it in with white so that I could see my background better. Because when it's clear, you can't quite see it as better because you have the checkerboard. Right, here's the checkerboard. So what I always do is I go to the second to the bottom and I go over with the bucket and fill it with white, which it's not going to let me do right now because I'm on the wrong layer and it's not seen. Okay. And that way I have a better view at what I'm working on. Now, this is an option for you, and I did say somewhere that if you wanted Mrs. Peterson to take a picture of yours, then I can take a picture of it. But once I took that picture, I did have to stretch it to the borders that I wanted it to. So again, this is definitely a thumbnail because look, my dotted line doesn't even go straight down my dotted line. So I stretched this to my borders, and then I can change the opacity on it. Let's make the opacity lighter. Oh, I'm on the wrong layer, sorry. Let me change my opacity here. And then I just have something that I can work with here. So what I really, really want to show you and teach you is how to use guides. On your last assignment, I said go up to your ruler and just draw a guide down, which if you just have something like a timeline, that's an easy guide to draw. But once you start getting into gutters between things, then what you want to do is you want to add a guide. And you're going to go up to the top where it says View, down to Guides. And I'm recording all this right now. And add a new guide. So right now I have it as a horizontal guide. I'm working on horizontal guides right now. So I'm going to, with my brain, and just kind of look over here, and I'm going to say, look, that's about three, a little bit after 3. So I'm going to say down here, 3 inches, 3.25 inches, or 3.3 inches, or something like that. Okay, and when I put that in there, so it was probably 2. Let me try that again. So View, Guides, New Guide. Let's say 2.3 inches. That's probably better, 2.3. And when I add that guide, it's going to come in across. But what I want to do is I want to make sure whenever I'm making a gutter, so this gutter right here is going to be equal to this gutter right here. That's going to be an easy one. But I want the same distance between these 2 lines and these 2 lines to be the same. That's when we're starting to using a little bit of math, and instead of drawing a line down here for my gutters, that's when I'm going to use the View, Guides, New Guide, and So this one is about 3 inches. So I'm going to do my 3-inch here. There's a guide. But my next one, I'm going to add like 3.2. 3.2. So I'm going to view, guides, new guide, 3.2. And my guide is now 2 parts of an inch, which we don't really divide inches in tenths, but it's 2/10 of an inch. And then when I go down to this guide right here, I want it to be 2/10 of an inch. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to look and I'm going to say, well, maybe 4.2 is my first guide. New guide, 4.2. And I add it. And then the guide right below that has to be 2/10 of an inch, if inches actually could be designed in tenths, 2/10 of an inch further. So instead of 4.2, I'm going to do 4.4. And now one of the requirements is being made. I said your guide, not your guides, but your gutters have to be equal. So the gutters between these texts and these pictures is the same gutter as between this text and here, before I've even drawn it. So you can use the template of what you drew to put under it, or like the people who started, they might even have their, I just added my, whatever this is called, grid. And you can use the grid also for that. So part of your grade is having equal guides. I just showed you how to add a new guide and use math to make those guides equal. I'm going to save this and put this tutorial up, but after you try it and you're not exactly quite sure if you still need more help, I will come over to your desk and help you. All right? Thank you. I love you and miss you already. Now go out and change your world for the better.